Primeramente yo aprendí a cazar con la flecha. Tengo 78 años. Lo más difícil, digamos, mi cuerpo que ya no puede caminar lejos. Lo máximo 2 días será.
Marcha que nami manaya kai ke emaya nan moya ya ke así cayó moya ya y mañana.
This is the Maniqui River in the Bolivian Amazon. The area is home to the Tsimane, a relatively isolated nomadic people in the north of the country with a particular characteristic. Many of the older members of this community maintain exceptional physical and mental vigor until very old age. Something that has attracted the attention of scientists. They allowed us to enter their territory, but not before undertaking a long trip that took several hours by road and canoe. This is Martina Canchinate. She is the first Tsimane elder to welcome us. That vitality that we were warned about left us breathless in a short time.
Que pause un momentico.
And several times we had to ask for a break from Martina's rhythm.
¿Nos recuerda cuántos años tiene?
Ella no recuerda cuántos años tiene. Es que
Age seems irrelevant here. But once at her home, after a drink of chicha and a brief rest, Martina answered the question we asked in the jungle. And she looked for her ID to show us that she is officially 84 years old. Who helps her, we ask. She answers in her native language that although her children support her, she's the one who does all the housework.
ella todo hace. Va a traer yuca, trae plátano, ella todo hace.
Two studies published between 2017 and 2023 found that the arteries of these older people are much younger than those of people of the same age in other countries, and that their brains also age more slowly. In the town of San Borja, the closest to the Tsimane territory, American anthropologist Hilar Kaplan has been studying the health of this ethnic group for 2 decades. And several researchers from the community itself work in its study center.
It's still almost as if we have to run to keep
When
up
they
with
compared the data to other populations around the world, they discovered that the Tsimane had the best arterial health.
One of the things we could say is a 75-year-old Tsimane's arteries were more like a 50-year-old American's arteries.
Kaplan and his colleagues found that 85% of these older people had zero risk of heart disease, and that half of those over 80 did not even have signs of calcification in their arteries, one of the main indicators of arterial disease. They also did not have problems with obesity, hypertension, or hyperglycemia. But what is the secret of their good health? A key factor is their diet. Husband and wife, Hilda and Pablo, invited us to harvest rice in their field. This is what the Tsimane have done ancestrally, basing their diet on fishing, hunting, and gathering.
합사 뭐야 파괴.
Yi na kam pe ye ye pya mu ya ke ta pe ye ha da ye pe ha ta pe ye chin pe ha mo ro ye ma chin ye ya so sa ye che ha ka shu ki chi me po pe ka pe ha ma na ka pe ha ye ye ke mo na mo ka fer chi fi ni pa le
Dekhay. Arish atawa bi dake atawa bi wa saksa. Kuchi bi wa saksa ji kuchi taste baki kuchi ya.
Here, it is not impossible to find sugar, flour, or other processed foods, but their access is very limited, and we readily saw these products. The same with cigarettes or alcohol. They tell us that they don't even chew coca leaves, a tradition in other ethnic groups in Bolivia. Although they hunt and raise animals, carbohydrates dominate 3/4 of their diet: cassava, bananas, corn, rice, fruits, seeds. But many Tsimane do not know their ages precisely. They told us that they are guided by records of Christian missions in the area or by how long they have known each other.
Y la escopeta, me llamo Juan Gutiérrez Rivero. Ahora sí, vámonos al monte a buscar el bicho. Tengo 78 años.
We accompanied Juan Gutiérrez on a day of hunting.
Sale, tío. Lo más difícil, digamos, mi cuerpo, que ya no puede caminar lejos, ¿no? Por máximo 2 días será, camino ya. Ya no camino lejos ya.
The physical routine of the older Tsimane is another determining factor of their health. Grandparents like Juan walk, on average, 17,000 steps per day. In Europe, the average is approximately 6,000 steps per day. He is one of the 705 volunteers whose health is studied.
Y de aquí, digamos, ya uno tiene que agarrar su arma. Y su linterna ya tiene que ir espiando el bicho. Hay veces cuando hay suerte, bueno, pilla un hoche, un vaso, ¿no? Entonces ya puede volverse ese rato a mediodía. Pero si uno no pilla, tiene que estar andando todo el día otra vez. Uno para ir a cazar tiene que sacar su flecha, su escopeta y tiene que caminar. Hay veces también nos íbamos con mi señora al monte con cama, a dormir allá. Dormíamos una semana, cazamos harto bicho y nos veníamos. Y bueno, así vive uno en el campo, ¿no?
Diet and physical activity mean that the older Tsimane have 70% less muscle atrophy than people of the same age in the United Kingdom, Japan, or the United States. And just like their arteries, scientists found that their brain also ages more slowly.
Estas pruebas son pruebas cognitivas que se hacen a los abuelos para ver si tienen demencia o no.
The fact that surprised the researchers is that the loss of the brain function is 40% slower in the Tsimane. Dementia, particularly Alzheimer's, is less frequent. We met Fermín in another village. He is 78 years old, and he told us that the pain in his feet stops him from hunting. He tells us that he's cleaning his arrows to prevent moisture from damaging them. He trusts that he will use them again. Modern medical care is a privilege that does not exist in the jungle, although there are organizations that assist them.
Sí, operaron su ojo. Cataratas. Sí.
Lo llevaron a San Ignacio, la ONG de aquí.
Despite their great physical condition, the older Tsimane constantly suffer from inflammation or parasitic diseases detected in 100% of the volunteers. When they need medical assistance, they have to travel to the city, something relatively new for them.
Justo hoy nos llegaba un paciente penoso, sí, una herida en la pierna.
Dr. Daniel Rodriguez is a member of the team that studies the aging of the Tsimane. Scientists highlight the very tough conditions the Tsimane people must endure.
Aunque no haya mejorado realmente la llegada de los servicios médicos a la gente, tienen más chance de rescatar a un niño de que se muera por diarrea, ¿no? El mismo hecho de participar en nuestro estudio nos genera a nosotros el compromiso de tratar de ayudarles en resolver esos problemas. ¿Y cuántos hijos ha tenido usted?
12.
12. ¿Pero ninguno murió? ¿Todos vivos?
No.
¿Cuántos murieron?
¿Cuántos?
4.
Sí.
¿Y ustedes cuántos hijos tuvieron ustedes? 9 vivos. ¿Y alguno falleció?
Sí, 3.
3 más fallecieron. 12 hijos.
For years, life expectancy was hampered by high maternal and child mortality. When the studies began, life expectancy was around 45 years. But this exposure to infectious and parasitic diseases could be a third key factor in the longevity of the Tsimane.
Hasta cierto punto las infecciones pueden ser beneficiosas, ¿no? Se llega a un nivel de convivencia que probablemente son como los seleccionados, los que sobreviven y los que están ahí, ¿no? Y pues eso también puede ser un factor protector para muchas cosas, ¿no?
For this reason, experts are studying how their immune system, which is more balanced against bacteria and parasites, protects them from arterial diseases. While walking in the jungle, the Tsimane with whom we spoke agreed on something. Their territory and their customs are changing.
Allá se escapó el bicho.
Pero cuénteme usted qué está pasando con la casa.
El fuego lo ha espantado lejos los animales, por eso es que ya es difícil para cazar. Ahora, por eso es que estamos criando vaquitas para que de eso vivamos, porque ya no hay animales, ya se han acabado, por eso estamos comprando vaquitas ya para mantenernos con eso, porque ya no hay, ¿no? Por lo menos con eso, haciendo cría, ya vamos a producir y bueno, de eso ya vamos a vivir, ¿no?
This approach to the urban world is alleviating many of the problems, but it has an impact. Doctors have noticed changes such as increased weight and cholesterol, and diabetes, which was something previously uncommon, is beginning to appear. But despite changes, the Tsimane feel proud to know that their ancestral lifestyle is now a health reference beyond the forest.
Kenya aja baju sanyira macam Kenya bay. Sanyira berjo itu kayan.